Hi, we're group number 8. And the first question that we have is how might the global adoption of Facebook's platform reflect the power of the internet to transcend geographical boundaries and cultural differences? Well, the global adoption of Facebook platform exemplifies in the movie the internet's ability to transcend geographical boundaries and cultural differences through accessible technology, virtual communities, cultural exchange, real-time communication also, and global networking. So the internet revolutionates the way people connect and interact, and ultimately fostering a more interconnected and interdependent world.
So, for the first question, I believe that one of the ways in which global adoption reflects the power of the internet to transcend geographic boundaries and cultural difference is the globalization of communication. So when we talk like the globalization of communication, we refer like to the way in which people can share, relate, and interact with other people from different countries. So I mean like that people who may be in different countries and thanks to the technological advances can maintain a relationship through the social networks such as Facebook. So thanks for these platforms, the people can be in contact with others who are not in the same country, as it happened like in the past where the people who were far from their families, the communication was through letters that could take a month to reach to the other person.
Yeah, and well, in the movie demonstrates how the globalization of communications, um, like it's facilitated by platforms like Facebook and has profound effects on personal relationships with family, friends, social interactions, and legal considerations.
Yeah, as we see in the movie, the network was originally created only for the Harvard students, but later other universities of the city wanted to have Facebook to follow their friends on the social media, but also like to see the latest photos that they posted. Finally, the network spread from the city to the country and then to all of the planets. Now I think we can pass to like the second point that we discussed during according the question. So as Facebook grew, it attracted a variety of users from different backgrounds and location. The movie shows how people from different parts of the world joined the platform and how they interacted despite cultural and geographical differences. The platform design encouraged cross-culture interaction and sharing. Users could exchange information such as photos or videos and providing a video into different lifestyles and perspectives. This level of connectivity and exposure was a revolutionary departure from traditional methods of cross-cultural communication. In addition, the ease with which the application can be used contribute to its celebrity, like Facebook is highlight intuitive and quick to use.
Yes, so well, I think that nowadays, if you go on Facebook, you can find people from other side of the world. Like, if you send them a request, you can talk to them and exchange culture. So, for example, if you are in Colombia, like right now, if you enter to Facebook, you can find a person who China. So, if you send a request, you can talk with them and know all aspect of her life. And well, it's more like interact with other people to other side of the country or the other part of the world.
Yeah, and well, the movie shows like how Facebook user base encompasses a wide range of individuals, as you said, like from various backgrounds, reflecting the platform's ability to bridge cultural, social, and well, the geographical differences. So we have also cultural and social impact. So social media has significantly impacted culture and society by fostering global connectivity and cross-cultural interactions, facilitating the exchange of cultural content and expressions, shaping new communication patterns, and internet celebrities. Also, sparking debates on privacy and identity, influencing also in mental health after the pandemic, altering social dynamics in relationships and friendships, and challenging the traditional notions of fame and influence, while offering opportunities for cultural exchange and activism. Social media also poses the challenges related to privacy, mental health, misinformation also, and changing social norms.
Sorry, like yeah, like you said, like in the movie, we can saw that very soon after like Mark Zuckerberg like share Facebook to the students of Harvard, they start like to use special languages according to Facebook. Like they start to talk how they can add each other and how they can see the last post of each other, and this is like the particular way of speaking that appears with the social media.
Yeah, I think that at the first platform like Mark create, when he crashed the Harvard network, the technology was not so advanced, and you couldn't find a personal information for other person on the internet. So when Facebook was created, there was a big social impact with the technological advances. So, well, I think that another important aspect is the expansion of the opportunity, because, well, this is when a business grows in need more staff to do something activities. So it generates like employment for people in the sector, and at the same time, when innovating also create business opportunities for relate to the new growing of company. For example, like I mean is that if a person create a company of machines, I don't know, and they need people who know how to handle another person who is responsible for assembling the machines, and another customer service, among other job opportunities and innovation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, in the movie emphasize the ways in which the platform's growth not only transformed the characters' lives, but also, as you said, had far-reaching implications for entrepreneurship, networking, cultural impact, also in education and researching the broader context of the digital age.
I think like the whole idea of the creation of Facebook is about the opportunity and all of the connection and the link that there is between the students. Like we can see in the movie that it was like the first idea of the two brothers. It was like to create something that link all of the students after like Harvard. So I think like all of the aim of Facebook is like to keep the link with the people after like we go away from them. So I think we can go to like the last parts. So the movie also addresses the legal challenges and conflict that arose due to Facebook global connection. This underscores how the platform was crossing legal and social boundaries, reflecting the power of the internet to the challenge established. In fact, at the time of its creation, certain questions that are obvious today did not exist at the time. For example, the privacy concerning the user's data or the sharing of their personal information, or the moderation facing the freedom of content. All of these details are obvious today, but they were not when the social network was created, because nobody imagined the scope and the power of Facebook.
Yeah, so I think that is a good example of the in the movie because well, Mark had to face several legal conflicts. With the co-founder is the first one. I don't remember the name, but he who is well, like the conflict end, like when she Mark and must to pay some money, but they don't know the monetary amount, and also the twins that he stole the idea also.
Yeah, so primary, like the movie, centers on the interpersonal conflicts and growth of Facebook founders. It indirectly touches on global conflicts and differences and used legal disputes and ethical dilemmas. In the film, like kind of symbolize broader challenges that arise when technology intersects with societal norms, reflecting debates about privacy, misinformation, and online behavior.
So, the social network has explained how Facebook became the first social media in the world and in the history of humanity. The movie highlighted Mark Zuckerberg's determination to create something great, but not as great as any human could have imagined. And what enabled Facebook to become what it is today was um, the effort and the innovation in the project. Facebook has understood what the brain needs and above all how lazy is it. Today all the social network work in the same way, but in 2004 this was honored at all. So then we are going to present you the second part of our presentation that refer to the second question.
Hello, we are the group in charge of the intellectual protection part. And so I will be introducing you guys to the intellectual protection, well, part. And first, we have the intellectual protection in general is like protecting an idea or a product or maybe a formula to produce something, a name for selling. Basically, that's what intellectual protection is. And it has like four tools to protect things. First is the patent, that is over inventions or maybe new discoveries. Parents normally uh, have 20 years like of vigency, and patents are made for companies to be the only ones able to product something. Okay. Second thing is copyright. Copyright right is basically some kind of patent, but in this case, it's not for 20 years or maybe uh, to 10 years, but it's like forever. Okay, copyright is the right over your own ideas or creations, normally over art creations, for example, literature creations, songs, things like that. That's what copyright is used for, and that's what the copyright laws are allowed to protect. Okay. Um, Third, we have trademarks. Okay, so trademarks are basically distinctive signs or names or both that companies have to sell to their own clients and community. Okay, so for example, Amazon. Amazon is a company that has a trademark with Amazon and the A logo. Okay, so people can know that's Amazon and Amazon is selling them. If there's another company called Amazon and have the same logo, they can't do it because Amazon has the trademark um, basically right. And finally, trade secrets like formulas and processes. For example, KFC chicken. KFC chicken is a good example for trade secrets because their secret formula for chicken like production. They have three factories where they make like the dog and that kind of stuff. So they keep it in secret so that they can be the only company making that particular project. And now we'll be going with the next part of the presentation.
Okay, so in relation with the globalization of markets, this increased the complexity of protecting the property rights because, first of all, there is a legal diversity in every single country that has their own set of regulations. That means that in a place, the technology is recognized and protected, and in another one, there is not like this um, like recognition of the technology. So talking about the movie, it shows how when Max Zuckerberg uh, shows the Facebook, the Miklavage twins and their partner Narendra file a lawsuit in Massachusetts against Mark Zuckerberg, accusing him. This is what they say in the movie, that Mark Zuckerberg not only intentionally deceiving them by making them believe he will help them create a social network called harvardconnection.com, but instead was using their ideas to create a competing product, and also for breaking the contract, misappropriating of trade secrets, intellectual property, and code thief. Also, we have to take into account that during the early 2000, the laws related to technological copyright issues were not the best. So at the end, the lawsuit was dismissed at various levels, and they failed due to a lack of evidence. So at the end of the movie, they tell us that the Mark Zuckerberg gave $65 million to the twins for put the mouth closed to, yeah. So the problem related to the difference of cultural norms and attitudes toward intellectual property in the movie, we can saw that the brothers and the partner consider Mark's actions as thief, breaking the law of the state of Massachusetts and the university for betraying partners of the university. And when Facebook expanded to other universities and states, the federal law come into play for them. However, the lawyers and the state at the time didn't view it as thief as the brothers did. And also in the case of the globalization market, like one of the effects of this was shown in the movie as a social perspective. So at the time, not only was there a legal void concerning technology-related law, but the effects of the globalization shows as when they mention that just 2 weeks after the site become accessible to everyone at the university, it became normal to talk about Facebook and to use Facebook's language. They sense of being part of a new online community spread to Europe within months, illustrating the rapid dissemination of culture due to social media usage. Additionally, the film portrayed the function of transnational invest from the first invasion of $500,000. Numerous more shares were created and bought from various parts of the world, and this led to reducing the of Eduardo's Saverin shares and consequently to a lawsuit he filed against Mark for deceiving him.
Okay, teacher. So with my partners, we were talking about some things about the relation between globalization and also all the topics that we have seen, for example, in the book, in the presentation, in the classes. And we can say that, for example, make a globalization is very difficult. And in the companies that want to grow and that they want to expand and have a biggest market, it's very difficult. And another problem that they have is the complexity of protecting property rights. This is not easy to do, especially when you go to another continents or another cities. It's not easy to do. For example, in the case of Facebook, they start to have problems when they start to grow. This was because of the different controversies that they had in the market, like with different companies, especially this was in China, where they have had legal problems. And I know that in general, Facebook is allowed in a lot of countries, but after they start to grow, after like that transformation of them, they start to have problems with that and a lot of controversies because of data privacy. They start like to take personal information of the people, and that makes that in some countries Facebook start to be provided. Also, before that, like the history of them, we know that their first idea was to start like just for one community that was for university, and after that they start to grow. That was when that happened. And also they in the past have some problems with copy designers and strategies from another people, like in the movie that can be seen. Also that they take confidential information not just from their customers but also for their partners, and also that they do it without permission. And it's very important, something that we find also in the book, that is that the companies has to innovate in order to continue. And for example, in 30 or 20 years ago, the revolution was the internet and the microprocessors and things like that. Now, Facebook has to think what is their new strategy in order to grow.
Okay, and finally, we've got the conclusions, okay? So we've got the zone adaptation difficulty, the different types of intellectual protection and international competition. Okay, so first, zone adaptation difficulty. Many companies have this difficulty because the intellectual protection laws are not the same for every zone and for every country. So different countries or even continents have different restrictions or maybe allow different things. Okay, so that would be like the zone adaptation because companies need to adapt to different zones, and that's hard. Okay. Second, we have different types of intellectual protection. As we saw when I explained, there are 4 types of intellectual protection, which are patents, trademarks, trade secrets, and copyright. Okay, and they all work for different things. And finally, international competition. Companies need to compete internationally and adapt to their environment in each country and each zone in order to maintain or to keep um, their clients interested in them. And that would be it. Thanks. And finally, teacher, just one more thing. If I might seem to be reading or something, it was just the clock. And that would be it. Thanks.